Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective.
Hello there. My name's Diamond. If you spotted me on the street, you'd probably figure me for an average working man. But you'd be wrong. I fit the description all right because I break my back 6 days a week to keep my piggy bank nice and stuffed. But my occupation puts me in a class by myself. I'm a private, honey, nothing in this world but detective. You probably say, so what? The average working man comes under the heading of a lot of different jobs, and you'd be right on that count. But there's one little thing that puts me in a class all by myself. Trouble. Mr. and Mrs. Average John Doe work 6 days a week to keep clear of it. I put in the same time playing footsies with it. It's a kind of silent partner with references dating all the way back to the year one. People get in trouble every second, and I count on a small percentage to come to me to get them out of it. The rest, odds and good advertising. As an example, take the other night in a little bistro over on 48th Street. A couple of guys sitting at a back table were getting set for a special brand of trouble. The big kind that you find under the heading of murder.
Oh, Bert, old boy, this is turning out to be a wonderful evening.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, George.
Yes. Say, who's a blonde over there in the booth?
Well, I've never seen her before, but she's cute.
Yeah, she sure is. Good evening, baby.
Oh, George,
Yeah?
take it easy.
What?
Maybe she's waiting for someone.
Oh, don't be silly. Look, she's smiling. Let's ask her over to the table.
Well,
huh?
I still think she's waiting for someone. If you want to take the chance, go ahead, you ask her.
All right, I will. I said good evening.
Good evening.
My friend and I noticed you were sitting alone, and we wondered if you'd join us.
Oh, I don't believe I can. You see...
Oh, please, just for a few drinks?
No, really. Thank you just the same.
Well, if you say so, but I'll be unhappy for the rest of the evening.
Hi, baby.
Tony.
I'm sorry I took so long, but... Hey, who's this guy?
Not Tony.
I said, who's the guy?
If you'll excuse me.
No, you, wait a minute.
George, come on, I think we'd better leave.
This guy a friend of yours?
Yes, he is.
Was this guy making a pitch, Nan?
No, we only asked me over for a drink.
Oh, he did, huh?
Now, wait a minute, pal.
Please, I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
So you made a mistake. Well, I don't like jokers that try and pick up my girl. Hey, wait a minute. You didn't have to slug him. Maybe you'd like to do something about it.
Maybe I would. Loud much.
Well, that's the first time Tony ended up on the short end of a fight in a long time.
All right, George.
Yes, I think I cut my head.
Yeah, you're bleeding all over the place. You better get out of here, mister. I saw the manager duck in the back room. He's probably calling the cops.
Here, let me give you a hand, George.
Yeah.
Here, now, take my hat and wear it over the cut until you get home.
I'm getting out here, too. You want me to drop you off?
What about your boyfriend? He's still unconscious.
He was that way when I met him. You want the lift or not?
What about you, Bert?
Oh, I'll be all right. Now, go on. Let her take you somewhere so you can get cleaned up. I'll grab a cab and head for my place. I'll call you in the morning.
But I don't
Now,
want
stop arguing. You can't afford a scandal.
All right.
Come on, honey, let's go.
Well, this very nice apartment.
You better go get cleaned up. Back to that room. I'll get a couple of drinks.
I can sure use a drink. I won't be long.
Take your time. Yes. Tony, get out of here.
Where is that
Go
guy?
on, get out of here.
Why, you cheap little... I'll beat it out of you.
Let go of me. Take your hands off me.
Take your hands off her.
Help.
I'll kill the both of you.
Help. There's a gun in the desk.
A gun? All right.
I'll wring your little neck.
You shot him.
I did?
You better get out of here.
Yeah, but what about you?
Go on, get out while you can. I'll think of something.
Yes.
Leave the gun. I'll throw it in the river or something.
Huh? Oh, all right.
Now go on, beat it. You just killed a man.
Yeah, come in.
Hiya, Mr. Diamond.
Well, Hennessy, what did you do, wreck your cab?
Nah, it's down in the front. Hey, that's a warm magazine you're reading there.
Yeah. Listen to what it says here about women's bathing suits.
Huh?
1949 suits allow maximum exposure to sun. Note plunging neckline. Note. Who's going to miss it? If it plunged in the lower, it'd wind up at the bends.
Yeah. Mr. Diamond, would you mind shoving it in the drawer? The picture distracts me.
Not at all, no. I don't blame you, Hennessy.
Thanks.
Now, what's on your mind?
This?
A hat?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I can do you much good. What did you bring it to me for?
I found it in the gutter over in Flatbush.
So what? Some guy loses a hat. Don't tell me you want me to find him.
No, I just got to worrying a little, you see. I found this beside you.
Oh, a 38. Well, let's have a look.
Take a look at the hat, too. It's got blood all over the inside.
Yeah. And initials on the inside. BK. Gun's been fired. You can still smell the powder in the barrel. Why didn't you take this to the police?
Oh, I didn't want to get mixed up in it. You see, I got to pick up as many fares as I can. I ain't got nobody to drive my cab for me, and I didn't want to spend the day answering questions down at headquarters, you understand?
Well, you'll probably have to anyway. I'll have to notify them.
Yeah? Well, I thought maybe you could find out who owned the hat and maybe solve the case before you notify him, you see? That way I wouldn't have to spend too much time. I could just tell him I found it and beat it.
Well, I can't withhold evidence. It'd take away my license. And if you did, they'd lock you up.
Okay, I just thought
Well,
maybe...
I can check the hat store before I get to the 5th precinct.
Yeah, well, won't that be a tough job? There's a lot of hat stores,
Well,
you
this
know.
hat's got a label. Besides, when someone finds a bloody hat with a 38 lying next to it, I get interested. Particularly when there isn't a corpse to go with it.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go, Mr. Diamond. Thanks a lot. You got a free ride anytime you want it.
I may take you up on that. So long, Hennessy. Well, there you are. What did I tell you? When you're working with trouble, something always shows up. Sometimes it's just a routine case. A guy knocks off his wife and he comes to you because he suddenly found out that he had that lonely feeling. Or maybe you get a real screwy one. A taxidermist that got tired of stuffing animals and went to work on a neighbor. Or then you get one that gives you the same feeling you get when you pick up a poker hand and the first 4 cards you look at are all spades. Well, I was holding 2 cards. A hat with blood on it, a gun that had been fired, and all I needed to fill out the hand was a body. By all rights, I should have taken the evidence right down to my friend, Lieutenant Levinson, at homicide. But I didn't have anything to do, so I decided to see what kind of pieces I could fit into the puzzle. The label in the hat was from a store on 5th Avenue. It wasn't far from my office, so I walked it.
Yes, sir. Something I can do for you?
Yeah, stop munching your sen-sen and tell me if this hat is from your store.
Well, let me see it. These glasses are not telescopes, you know.
Yeah, here.
Well, if you're planning to return this merchandise, sir, I can assure you the store will not accept it. You've been bleeding on the sweatband.
Look, Rosebud, I just want to know if the hat is from this store.
It most certainly is. It's one of our custom models.
Who did you sell it to?
If you found this hat, we will be glad to return it to its owner. We are not supposed to give out the names of our clients.
I have a small badge here that should cut this conversation down to a few words. See?
Oh.
Now, would you mind telling me to whom did you sell this hat?
Well, just because you're a detective, I am not impressed. However, under the circumstances, I'll give you the buyer's name.
You're a real sport.
I suppose you wear a shoulder holster, too. Or is that bulge your tailor's fault?
Psst. Come here. I really keep a midget in there.
You don't say.
Yeah. He spits through the lapel at stupid hat clerks.
Oh, really?
Now, come on, Bright Eyes. Who bought the hat?
Well, if you'll just hold your horses.
That's the new line, if I ever heard one. Come on, Bubbles.
Yeah. Here it is. This hat was sold to a Mr. Bertram Calmus. We make all his hats for him.
Well, bully for you. What's his address?
430 Sutton Place. Now, will that be all, sir?
Yes, that will be all, and thank you. You've been a brick through the whole ugly mess. I left him watering his gardenia and headed for the residence of one Mr. Bertram Calmus. The apartment house was about 10 blocks away, and with the money I had in my pocket, all taxicabs started looking like iron claws with 4 wheels. I walked.
Yes?
How do you mean that?
Yes, I don't want any.
Oh, and I've got a pretty good sales talk.
I never buy anything unless I have a demonstration.
My middle name is Semper Paratus. Like the Coast Guard, I'm always prepared.
I suppose I could top that, but I'm getting tired of trying to close the door on your foot. What is it you want?
I hate to admit it, but I'm looking for Bertram Calmus.
My husband.
Good for him. Is he in?
No, but he will be any minute. What's it about?
This hat, I believe, is his.
What blonde's apartment did it turn up in?
It was found in the gutter in Flatbush.
Well, Flatbush is a little out of his territory, but the gutter sounds familiar. What's that stain all over it?
Blood. Does your husband bleed a lot?
Not recently. We've been getting along. Are you from the police?
I'm a detective.
Oh. Come in.
I'd hate to be selling brushes.
I'd have slammed the door on your face.
Oh, well, then I made an impression.
Perhaps. Let's just say you're waiting for a sacrifice to move you to second base. Won't you sit down?
Thanks. What happens when I round third?
That depends on your batting average, Mr.
Diamond, Mrs. Calmus.
That fits.
Now, getting back to a very dull subject, does this hat belong to your husband?
I don't know. It looks like one of his. Has it got any initials in the band?
Mm-hmm. BK.
When did you find it?
I didn't. The cab driver picked it up this morning.
And it isn't my husband's blood. He left about a half an hour ago to do some shopping, and it was very bloodless.
No cuts on his head?
No cuts. He came in around 2 this morning. He'd been drinking, but he wasn't cut up. Oh, here he is now. I hope we can discuss baseball another time.
Well, I got all the things you wanted, and...
Bert, this is Mr. Diamond. He's a detective.
Yeah? Well, how are you?
Fine, Mr. Calmus. Tell me, is this your hat?
My hat? Let me see it. Why, no, it isn't.
The hat store on Fifth Avenue says they sold it to you.
Well, I can't help what they say. That's not my hat.
Are you sure, darling? It was found in a gutter.
I don't care if they found it on a Yale man in the Harvard Club. It's not mine.
Well, I guess I'll have to take your word for it.
Wait. Isn't that blood on the hat?
Yeah. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Calmus, Mr. Calmus. Nice meeting you both.
I'll see you to the door.
I can do it.
I know you can, dear. Coming, Mr. Diamond?
Sure.
Bye. Come back again, Mr. Diamond.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Calmus.
Where can I call you?
What?
I can't explain now. Where can I call you in about a half an hour?
My office. It's in the book.
You'll hear from me, but please don't do anything until then.
Okay. Half an hour. Then I go to the police with this hat. Puss.
Mr. Diamond, this is Bert Calmus.
Yeah?
Yes, I couldn't say anything to you in front of my wife. That is my hat.
Well, I thought so. Why did you deny it?
Well, I was out with a pal last night. There was a fight over a girl. I didn't want to mention it in front of my wife.
Oh, how did the blood get on the hat?
My friend got hit on the head, and I loaned him my hat to cover up the wound.
What was it doing in a gutter in Flatbush?
I really don't know. My friend left with the girl, and I went right home.
Well, who is this friend of yours? I think something may have happened to him.
Well, I called him this morning, and he seemed very nervous about something, and he asked me to come over. I'm in the lobby of this hotel right now.
He's probably just worried about the girl he picked up. As long as the blood on the hat was from a cut on his head, I don't think there's too much to worry about.
No, Mr. Diamond, I think it's more than that. He's my employer, and I know him pretty well. I do wish you'd come over.
Well, all right, Mr. Calmus. What's the address?
The Whitsett Hotel on East 54th Street. I'll meet you in the lobby.
Don't ask me why I started getting that lousy feeling when all I had was a bloody hat, a gun, and a pretty good explanation for one of the items. But there it was, that jammed-up feeling in the pit of my stomach, like I just swallowed a whole pineapple. Something was wrong, and I wanted to find out what. So I hurried over to the Whitsett Hotel and met Calmus in the lobby.
I'm glad you came, Mr. Diamond. I just put in a call to George's room, and someone else answered.
So what?
Well, the man asked a lot of questions, like who I was and what did I want with George, and...
Oh, I take it George is your friend of last night.
Yes, George Watkins. He's the president of the firm I work for.
Well, let's go up. When someone starts asking questions like that on the phone, it begins to sound like the police have moved in. Come on.
Yeah?
Oh, hello, Walt.
Rick, what are you doing here?
Fair question. I'll answer yours if you'll do the same for me. I came up to see a Mr. George Watkins.
So did I.
Well, what's the matter? Is George in some kind of trouble?
Who's this guy? Oh, he's a friend of Watkins, works for him. Oh, yeah? Well, come on in.
George, what's going on here?
You better let the lieutenant tell you, Bert. I can't think anymore.
What's the charge, Walt? Murder.
Murder?
We got a call from a girl last night who said a man named George Watkins killed someone in her apartment. When we got over there, we found the girl dead, too.
Oh, well, you must have the wrong man, Inspector George.
Lieutenant. And I'm sure you think George wouldn't, but he just confessed.
George? Yes, Bert, I killed the man. But I didn't kill her. The man came in and tried to strangle her. She told me to get the gun in the drawer, and when the man wouldn't let her go, I shot him.
That isn't what the girl told us. She said she took this guy home after he'd been in a fight, and when they got to her apartment, he made a pass just as her boyfriend came in. Then Watkins shot him and ran out. We figured he got excited, and when he had time to think about it, he went back and killed the only other witness.
I didn't kill the girl. I never went back there at all. I came straight here.
Walt, Mr. Calmus here was with him up until the time he left with the girl. Is that right, Mr. Calmus?
Why, yes, sir.
Now, there was a previous fight, and Watkins got that cut on his head. Mr. Calmus loaned him his hat to cover the wound.
That's right, sir.
And, by the way, Walt, what caliber was the murder weapon? .38, but we haven't found the gun yet. Here, check this one with ballistics. How'd you find this? Cab driver named Hennessy brought it into me this morning. Found it lying with a hat. Did you ever see this gun before, Watkins?
No, I told you I don't own a gun.
Walt, what time do you figure he killed the man and the girl? The coroner fixed the time of death about 1 o'clock this morning. How long were you at this girl's apartment, Mr. Watkins?
Why, about 5 minutes before her boyfriend came in. I shot him and left immediately.
And you don't remember taking your hat or the gun? What are you getting at, Rick? This is an open and shut case. He admits killing one of them, but he won't admit the other killing because he knows it was premeditated. Just a hunch, Walt, just a hunch. Mr. Watkins, would you mind telling me just what happened after the girl's boyfriend started choking her?
Well, I grabbed a gun out of the dresser near the kitchen and I shot him. And the girl told me to get out, that she'd take care of things, so I dropped the gun and ran.
Did you hear anything else? Anything unusual?
No. But, yes, now that you mention it, I did hear something, but it slipped my mind until now.
What did you hear?
Well, I don't know whether I can describe it or not. It sounded like someone had opened a bottle of flat champagne.
What are you getting at, Rick? Oh, wait a minute, Walt. When did you hear this noise?
Right after I shot the man. I remember wondering if someone hadn't opened a bottle in the kitchen.
Is that where the noise came from?
Yes, I think so.
All right, if I go over and case the scene, Walt? We've done that. Yeah, but you weren't looking for something. Why don't you come with me, Mr. Calmus? I'd like to talk with you. What's the address, Walt? 16 West 113th Street.
Well, now, look, don't worry too much, George. I can handle the business, and in the meantime, I'll do everything to get you off.
Thanks, Bert.
Now, you wait a minute, Rick. If you think you know something... Walt! Yeah?
Bye.
Calmus and I went downstairs and took a cab over to 16 West 113th Street. It was a middle-class apartment house in Flatbush, a 4-story brownstone. I let Calmus pay the fare, and we went in. I wonder what floor it's on.
Well, should tell on the mailboxes. Yeah, here it is. Nan Phillips, 206.
Well, let's go up. What do you do for Mr. Watkins?
I'm his vice president. That's why I took him out last night. I wanted to interest him in a new account. I just can't imagine him killing anyone, but I guess people do funny things when they lose their heads.
Yeah. 206. Oh, here it is.
Yeah?
Hello.
Oh, no.
Good afternoon, Sergeant Otis.
What do you want, Diamond?
I want to stand out here in the hall and count the hairs in your 5 o'clock shadow. Now let us in. The lieutenant said it was all right.
Okay, comic.
Mr. Calmus, meet Sergeant Otis.
How are you?
Hello, Sergeant.
Otis, make like a policeman and point out the circumstances in this killing, will you?
Well, I don't know why I should, Shamus, but if the lieutenant sent you over, I guess I'll have to. 2 bodies was over there by the window, lying pretty close together.
Uh-huh.
The killer, that Watkins fellow, was standing about here in the center of the room.
With his back to the kitchen door.
Yeah. He shot them both from about here. Hey, what are you looking for?
Oh, I like to get down on my hands and knees. It's cooler.
Well, it won't do you no good to start looking for fancy clues. The guy already confessed.
Well.
Hey, what do you got there?
Just a wad.
So, you got some wadding from the murder gun. You better give it here.
Sure. But hang on to it, Otis, and be sure to give it to the lieutenant. Maybe you haven't noticed, but murder guns don't throw this much wadding unless you can kill someone with a blank cartridge.
What?
Don't let it throw you. Mr. Calmus, I've got some things to do. Can I drop you somewhere?
Well, no thanks. Now that Mr. Watkins can't take care of the office, I'd better go down and check over some things. But I'll keep in touch with you, Mr. Diamond.
You do that.
Now, wait a minute, Diamond.
Oh, stop trying to figure it out, Otis. You'll snap your wig. I was getting close to something. I wanted to tie the ends together before it caught up with me. I had a big fat hunch that Watkins had been framed good, and the more I found out, the more it looked like a killer was still loose. The whole setup had been screwy from the first. Why would a guy lose his hat and drop his gun in the same place? Or, if he threw them both away, why wouldn't he burn the hat and throw the gun in the river? Nobody's frightened enough to lay them side by side in the gutter. I learned a lot since this morning, and I was certain of one thing. The killer tried to make it look good, but he was an awful amateur. I knew something else, too. Amateurs can be awfully mean sometimes when you corner them. I put in a call to Walt and told him what I had, and then I asked him to give me half an hour and meet me at Mrs. Calmus's flat. I grabbed another cab, and 20 minutes later, I was sitting on a long couch next to Mrs. Calmus. It's easy to get that crowded feeling, even on a long couch. You just both sit on the same cushion.
Comfy?
Oh, yeah. What kind of perfume is that?
My sin.
Past or future tense?
A rounding second. What brought you back, Mr. Diamond?
Oh, I want to ask a couple of questions.
Past or future tense?
What time did your husband get in last night?
I told you about 2 o'clock. Why?
Do you know if he knows a girl named Nan Phillips?
I really don't know.
Oh. All right. Just a few more questions, and then we'll get back to that perfume.
I'll think ahead.
You said you'd been getting along with your husband. Would you mind explaining that?
Certainly I like nice things, and lately he's been buying them for me.
Oh. What's your husband's salary?
About $15,000 a year.
Oh. Could he afford to buy you these things?
Well, he told me he was getting a raise, and then he'd gotten a big advance. What's this all about?
Maybe I'd better tell you.
Bert, I didn't hear you.
I did.
What are you doing with that gun?
I'm going to use it. I found Mr. Diamond making passes at my wife, and I shot him.
Are you crazy?
Don't ask him that. He's allowed to start thinking about it. You can't shoot me and get away with it, Calmus. What are you going to do with your wife? She won't back you up.
No, I guess she wouldn't. All right, both of you, get up and walk downstairs to my car.
Bert, what are you doing?
Your husband killed 2 people last night, Mrs. Calmus. Now he's going to try and cover because he guessed I knew how it was done.
You're not going to kill me, too.
Get moving.
Bert, please.
Go on.
Better do as he says.
Why did you kill anyone, Bert?
He wanted to frame his boss. I'll bet when the company checks, they'll find out he's had his hand in the till.
They won't find out, Mr. Diamond. With Mr. Watkins' book for murder, I'm next in line for president. I'll be able to fix the book so it will look like he took the money, too.
Is that where you got the money for all those things you've been buying for me?
You shot the man and the girl from the kitchen with a silencer, didn't you, Bertram?
That's right. I knew you were onto something when you discovered that wad from the blank cartridge.
I was onto something a long time before that.
Yeah? All right, come on. Over to that gray sedan, and remember, I've still got this gun in my pocket.
You're an amateur, Bertram.
Is that right?
Sure. I knew you had something to do with it when we got over to the girl's apartment. I didn't know what floor it was on, and you looked in the mailboxes.
That's the best way to find an apartment, isn't it?
Yeah, but not once at any time did anyone mention the dead girl's name. But you knew it and found it on the mailbox.
All right, stop right here. Open the door, Gene, and get in first. The front seat.
Bert, please.
Get in. All right. Now you, Mr. Diamond, you're going to drive.
You know, I left my license in my other suit.
Stop stalling.
I had to do something to stall for just a second because over Bertram's shoulder I spotted a prowl car sliding up to the curb, and good old Walt was climbing out. Bertram, would you mind answering just one question?
What is it?
The gun that Watkins thought he killed the man with was loaded with blanks, wasn't it?
Sure. I killed the guy from the kitchen with a silencer.
The whole thing was rigged, huh? The man and the girl were supposed to stage that fight, and Watkins was supposed to shoot the guy with the dummy slug.
You said one question. Now get in the car.
All right, Calmus, don't move.
What? Why, you...
Duck, Rick.
That was a close one.
You're so right, Walt. Take his gun. I think you'll find it's the one that Watkins fired the blanks from.
How is he?
On his way. Hey, Bertram.
I'll go call the wagon.
Bertram,
Yes.
you want to tie the ends together?
I paid the girl and the man to stage the fight. I told them I wanted to frame George and blackmail him.
So you framed him with a double murder instead. Why?
I've been stealing money from the company. How'd you know it was me?
Well, knowing the girl's name, for one thing, and your wife told me you'd gotten in about 2.
Oh.
You told me over the phone you went straight home after the fight in the cafe. The killing took place about 1. Watkins said he'd been at the girl's for 5 minutes. About 15 to get to her place, so that meant you all left the cafe around 12:30. It doesn't take an hour and a half to get... Hey, Bertram.
Diamond,
Huh?
I don't think Bert can hear you.
Yeah. Well, it was a pretty dull story anyway. Well, the wagon got there, and I briefed Walt on everything that had happened. They took Mrs. Calmus home and released Watkins. It was a stinking hot afternoon, and I needed something cool to bring me down to normal, so I headed for 975 Park Avenue. A tall lemonade with a mind of its own, and a curvaceous redhead with the same gimmick.
Yes? Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Diamond.
Afternoon, Francis. Miss Asherin?
Yes, sir. She's in the study, reading.
Thanks, Francis. Oh, how about something cool?
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Hi.
Hi. Wow, you look cool enough. That's a nice getup.
You like it? It's the newest thing.
Yeah, I saw it in the magazine. What do you do if it shrinks?
Oh, silly.
No, I'm concerned. You might get raided.
Don't you like it?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think of me?
Ah, you're adorable. You're beautiful and you're cute.
Hey, that sounds like a song.
Come here.
No, not sing it. It's cute.
That's too hot.
I'm rather cool.
Well, I was only lukewarm until I spotted that play suit.
Go on. A, you're adorable.
Okay, but then I want to play. Get it? Play suit.
That was dandy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Go on.
Hey, you're adorable. B, you're so beautiful. C, you're a cutie full of charm. D, you're a darling. And E, you're exciting. And F, you've got feathers on your arm.
Rick.
G, you look good to me. H, you so heavenly. I, you're the one I idolize. J, we're like Jack and Jill. K, you're so kissable. L is the love light in your eyes.
Rick.
M, Do you want me to finish?
I love you.
Oh, you're sweet. Come here.
Mm-hmm.
Just one moment, sir.
Yes, Francis?
I'm not going to be embarrassed again. Here's your lemonade.
Thank you, Francis.
Oh, it's nothing, sir. A, you're adorable. B, you're so beautiful. C,
You have just heard Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. Helen was played by Virginia Gregg, Lieutenant Levinson by Ed Begley. Also in our cast were Wilms Herbert, Byron Kane, Lorene Tuttle, Paul Frees, and Wally Mayer. Music was under the direction of Frank Worth. Richard Diamond is written by Blake Edwards and directed by William P. Rousseau. Now, this is Eddie King inviting you to be with us again at the same time next week when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
Listen while the makers of Rexall drug products and 10,000 independent Rexall family druggists bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective.
Good evening. This is your Rexall family druggist speaking to you for the 10,000 independent druggists who have made the word Rexall part of our own store names. We've done that because we recommend and sell the 2,000 or more drug products made by the Rexall Drug Company. Like Plenamins, for example, Rexall's famous multivitamin capsules. 2 Plenamins a day give you more than your daily minimum requirement of every vitamin for which such requirements have been established, plus valuable liver concentrate and iron. What's more, Plenamins cost you only pennies per day. Ask for Plenamins at Rexall drugstores everywhere. And remember, you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall. Now, your Rexall family druggist brings you a transcribed half hour with Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
Diamond Detective Agency. We trail them, we nail them. If they're guilty, we jail them. No charge for poetry.
Oh, no. Edgar guessed with a shoulder holster.
Hello, Helen, baby.
Rick, guess what's in town?
Unless I win something, I give up.
The Carnival.
Well, is the balloon concession tied up yet?
Oh, Rick, I'm serious. I haven't been to a carnival since I was little. Let's go tonight.
You mean peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jacks, and all that?
Yes.
Sounds awful.
Oh, now, Rick. Please.
Okay, honey. I'll be around at 8. Shall I wear my knickers?
Rick.
Bye. That night, I picked up Helen and we went to the carnival. There were more people on the Midway than Rexall has stores, and we got pushed so much I felt like the tax bill in Congress. Helen decided she wanted a Cupid doll, so we stopped at the shooting gallery.
Hey, that's pretty good shooting.
Think nothing of it.
Just 3 more bullseyes and you win a doll. Well, here's your doll. Where'd you ever learn to shoot like that?
At the skeet club. Would you like to try a shot, Rick?
No thanks. Come on.
Oh, Rick, isn't this doll cute?
And now, for your amazement and proof of my statement, I'll ask him to step out here. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Samson, the strong man. Step right up, folks. He'll thrill you with his amazing feats of strength. Now, crowd right in. Don't be shy. There is no...
Standing on the platform with the biggest collection of muscles I'd ever seen, Samson looked like an overgrown orangutan, and at least 3 tigers had contributed their all to the loincloth he wore around his middle.
Samson, the great. And now, our sensational offer. $100 to any man who will step up here and defy the mighty Samson to put him to sleep by squeezing his chest. Now, it is harmless, my friends, and if any one of you daring gentlemen think the mighty one cannot put you to sleep with a mere squeeze, then step right up. If Samson fails, then $100 is yours.
Well, Rick.
Now, I tell you, friends...
Well, Rick, what?
Don't you want to show off?
Not my insides.
Rick, you mean you're afraid just to let him squeeze you?
Honey, I'm afraid to let him breathe on me. Come on, let's go see that fortune teller. I steered Helen toward the next booth before she could talk me into anything my bones would regret tomorrow. The sign outside the tent read, Madame Tanya, your past, your present, your future. And inside we found Madame T staring intently into a crystal ball. She wore gypsy clothes and a heavy makeup that covered what might have been very lovely features.
Welcome to the inner sanctum.
Haven't I heard you on the radio? She didn't crack a smile, and I didn't exactly blame her. She motioned us into chairs around the crystal. The room was decorated in about the same motif as the tattooed lady, and would have impressed a man with a bad case of DTs. Madame Tanya went back to staring at the crystal, so I followed suit. I couldn't see a thing in the glass ball, but... And maybe she picked up television on clear nights.
The crystal grows dim. I can see that you are both very much in love.
Well, go on.
It is good. This man adores you. He worships you. He idolizes you.
Wake me up when I propose.
You are an unbeliever?
Oh, let's be modern. I'm a cynic.
The crystal does not lie. But to make certain, I will consult the cards.
She picked up a deck that was too big for poker and too small for canasta. I should pay to watch a girl play solitaire? I nudged Helen, and we were about to leave when a tall, thin young man pushed back the canvas flap and walked in.
Hey, Tony, I didn't know you were busy. Excuse me.
The boy pushed back the flap to go out and then made a sharp, gurgling noise in his throat. He doubled with pain and fell to the floor. Even from where I was sitting, I could see the big, ugly bullet hole in his chest.
Bruce!
Don't scream. We'll have the whole crowd in here. Stand back, Helen.
Is he hurt bad?
You don't need a crystal ball for this, honey. He's dead. Even under the heavy makeup, I could see her face turn pale. I sent Helen to call the police, and then I looked around outside. The killer had either used a silencer, or else the shot was not heard in the confusion. 20 minutes later, Lieutenant Max Talbot arrived, followed by Sergeant Otis wearing his Hopalong Cassidy badge.
Hi, Rick.
Well, hello, Max. Where's Walt Levinson?
He's on vacation, Rick. I've taken over his cases.
Also his problems, I see. Hello, Otis.
Hi, Shamus. So there's been another murder, huh? And you just happened to be here. Sounds suspicious to me.
Otis, why don't you stick your head through a piece of canvas and let people throw baseballs at it?
And get my brains knocked out? Oh, no.
Why not? You got nothing to lose.
Rick, Miss Asher told me over the phone what happened. It sounds like we'll be looking for a needle in a haystack. You want to work on the case with us?
Not particularly. I just happen to be here, that's all.
Yeah. I still think that's awful funny.
Otis, I'll send you my confession in the morning. So long, Max. It's not that I wasn't interested in the case. I was. But in my business, you can't poke your head into murder on a gratis basis. So I took Helen home. The next morning, I went to my office as usual, and then around 10 o'clock, I had a visitor.
Mr. Diamond, I need your help.
Well, thank my lucky stars. Sit down.
Thank you.
She looked like a well-dressed Lady Godiva, minus horse. I stifled a drool as she sat down, and then I realized that I'd seen her before. This was Madame Tanya, minus the heavy makeup, gypsy garb, and the phony accent.
It's about last night's murder. You see, it's not the first. 4 men have been killed within a year. And all because of me.
Go on.
My real name is Tony Lawrence. About a year ago, a boy I knew asked me for a date, and we went out. Next day, he was killed. There were 2 more after that who showed an interest in me. They both died, too. It's getting so every time a man looks at me twice, he's murdered.
Well, it's a pleasant way to die. But what about this kid last night?
Well, he'd asked me for a date at a small party we had after the show one night. He worked in the show, but I hardly even knew him.
I see. Did you tell Lieutenant Talbot all this?
Oh, yes. He says he'll have to make a systematic check on everyone on the show. But that could take months.
Yes, it could. Talbot's a good cop, though. Why'd you come to me?
I want you to go back to the lot with me. I'll arrange to get you a job there.
Honey, I got a job. I'm a private detective.
Oh, I know. I'll pay you what you ask.
Oh, well, that understanding will just continue.
Well, maybe working undercover, you'll be able to find out who's behind all this.
Well,
Oh, I'm sure it'll work. I'll get you a job as Barker for the girl show.
You know, I've always wanted to run away with the girl show. We drove back to the Carnival, and I became Rick Diamond, boy Spieler. The kid who was murdered last night had asked Tony for a date at a small party. There were only 3 other people at that party, and it seemed logical that one of them was the killer. First on the party list was Chuckles, the clown. Tony took me over to his trailer.
Here we are. I think you'll like Chuckles. He's got a great sense of humor.
Well, Tony, come on in.
Can't stay long, Chuckles. I want you to meet Rick Diamond. He's the new Barker on the girls' show, and the boss wants me to introduce him to everyone.
Well, any friend of Tony's is a friend of mine. Glad to know you, Rick.
How are you, Chuckles?
Yeah, just fine. So you got the job at the Shakers, huh? You ever barked before?
Only at pet shows.
Oh, well, you'll do a good business over there. All the old fogies go to see Karen. She's the head shaker.
Is that all she shakes?
Hey, that's pretty good. Put some gags in your pitch. The crowd eats it up.
We'd better go, Rick. You start to work soon.
Yeah, well, drop around any time, huh?
Number 2 on the suspect list was Samson, the strong man. I remembered him from last night and took a last look at my fingers as we shook hands.
Glad to meet you. Do you wrestle?
No, but I'm a demon with jacks.
Oh, I can't find no one around here to play with.
Oh, you poor kid. Have you tried the lion cake?
Rick's going to pitch the girl show, Samson.
Ah, boy, that's no fun. Hey, look, kid, you work out with me, and someday you can be a strong man, too.
Well, that's a tempting offer, but I'm afraid I'm just a natural-born sissy.
Well, if you change your mind, come around and...
And you'll change my posture, I know. Glad to have met you, Sampson.
So long.
Playful little character.
He's really very nice. Hey, let's stop here for a hot dog.
Good. My favorite meal.
Give the man a cooked one, Maisie.
Sure thing, Tony.
Loaded with onions, honey. No date tonight. Aren't you hungry, Tony?
I've got to change for my act soon.
Tell me, how did a pretty girl like you get tied down to a crystal ball?
Oh, I don't know. I grew up on shows. Mom and Dad were wire walkers. Well, I don't like high places, so I decided to be an actress.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after a few feeble stage attempts, I came back here.
Now you do your acting in a tent.
That's right. If these murders aren't solved soon, I'll be on the move again.
Those two characters we just met, do you think one of them might be the killer?
Gee, I don't know. They've always been friendly with me, but... Well, they did overhear that boy ask me for the date. Karen was there, too.
Oh, yes, the shaker, as Chuckles put it.
You'll probably meet her later on. She's always quick to discover a new man.
Well, I can hardly wait.
Say, I'd better get back. I'll see you after the show tonight.
You are, mister. It's got enough onions to keep you out of circulation for a week.
Tony walked away, stopped, turned, and gave me a smile that made me feel warmer than the hot dog I began munching. She was a very pretty girl. Pretty enough for someone to kill any man she got interested in. And that someone was either a clown, a strong man, or a hula dancer. Yeah, it was quite a mess, and here I was in the middle of it. But as P.T. Barnum always said, there's a sucker born every minute.
Before we continue with the adventures of Richard Diamond, private detective, here's your Rexall family druggist.
Whenever you develop a simple headache, what's the first thing you think of for fast relief?
Why, aspirin, of course.
Right. But it's also smart to think one step further and choose Rexall aspirin.
Give me 3 good reasons why.
Okay. First, every Rexall aspirin tablet contains 5 full grains of pure aspirin. Second, there is no faster-acting aspirin made.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that when taken with water, a Rexall aspirin tablet is ready to go to work for you even before it reaches your stomach.
Sounds swell so far. What's the third reason?
Just this. In the economy size 200-tablet bottle, Rexall aspirin costs you little more than 0.3 of a cent per tablet.
That I'll remember.
And remember this also. You can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
And now back to tonight's adventure with Richard Diamond, private detective, starring Dick Powell.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right up and see Karen and her friend. Come on, boys, don't be bashful. Put your wives on the Ferris wheel, go on in. Get away from me, son, you bother me. Only 1/10 of a dollar plus 15 cents and you're all set. You'll see Karen, the blonde bombshell.
That night, I yelled my head off. The crowd was heavy, and the men poured into the tent until there was panting room only. I looked at my watch and saw that I had 4 more hours to go. So I warmed my tonsils and kept right at it.
My mistake, mister. Go on in.
4 hours later, I felt like a politician and had a voice like Andy Devine. Tony met me after the crowds had left, and we had a Coke.
Tired?
Tired? Me? No. 37 hours sleep and I'll be as good as new.
You'll get used to it.
Oh, do I have to? I thought the girl show would be great, but they're inside. I'm outside.
Well, you'll meet Karen soon.
That's some consolation. No, say, while I think of it, maybe we'd better not be seen together so much. I got a great affection for life.
Yeah, I've thought of that. You'd better go on from here alone. But, Ricky, be careful.
I gave her my "for you I will" look, and then she left. I had been assigned a bunk in one of the trailers and was about to head toward it when something grabbed my arm. At first, I thought one of the snakes had left the charmer's neck. But this one had long blonde hair.
Hi. My name's Karen. You got a match?
I'd heard the match line in a movie, but what this gal carried around could never pass the censor board. I'd been singing her praises all evening, and now I could see that I'd been guilty of understatement.
Thanks.
Oh, that's all right. I'm loaded with them.
Hey, you're cute. The last guy had a lousy voice, but you're cute. What's your name?
Diamond. You can call me Rick.
You want to buy me a Coke?
Sure.
Well, never mind. I just wanted to see if you wanted to.
Well, any more party games up your sleeve?
Oh, sure, lots more. I've seen you with Tony. You like her?
Well, shouldn't I?
I don't know. Only the way things have been happening, it ain't so healthy.
Yeah, so I heard. You like her?
She's all right. Burns me, though. She makes more dough than I do, and she's strictly no talent. She just makes up them stories. Now, me, I'd give the boys the money's worth.
Well, I'll bet you do.
You know, I bet we get along real swell, you and me.
Well, I hope we do.
You know, there's nothing but jerks around here. You look sort of like a gentleman.
Sorry, I'm just tired.
Oh, I like it. You want to take me into town and go dancing?
Well, I'm all worn out tonight.
Oh, I don't really want to go. Just want to know if you'd like to take me.
Oh, we're back at that. Yes, I would like to take you.
Good. Oh, gee, it's a nice night for a walk. Oh, would you like to...
Let's not go round again.
Say, you're awful cute. Good night.
That night, I went to bed with a lot on my mind and an ice pack around my neck. I was after a murderer who left no clues. The only apparent motive was to keep men away from Tony. Chuckles or Sampson. Maybe they were in love with Tony. On the other hand, Karen might be jealous enough of Tony to commit murder. I didn't count sheep that night, just characters. Next morning, while I was roaming around the carnival grounds, I found Chuckles sitting on the steps of his trailer sewing a bright-colored costume.
Well. Hi there. Sit down.
Thanks. Hey, you're pretty handy with that needle.
Oh, you gotta be. How'd it go last night?
Well, I'm a little better, but I'm in no condition for a cigarette test.
I'm glad I don't have to yell my lungs out every night. I just stand around and let people laugh at me.
I have a friend named Otis who does the very same thing.
Say, you should have been around yesterday if you like excitement. Guy was murdered.
Oh? What happened?
Somebody shot him. Seems like the only reason was because he liked Tony.
You mean the girl who showed me around yesterday?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, I guess not many guys give her the eye.
No. There's one fellow that kind of likes her, though. A guy by the name of Leonardi.
Oh?
He don't work here no more. He's on another show. Tony and him write a lot, though. I'm always mailing letters for him.
Well, maybe they're just friends.
Yeah, that's what she says. He worked on this show before I came over here. I don't really know him, but I bet there's something between those two.
Maybe he's the one behind all this.
Could be. Well, it's not good to poke your nose into other people's business.
You're telling me. Well, I guess I'll look over the show.
Yeah, well, drop around any time.
I left Chuckles and wandered on up the Midway. About half past the merry-go-round, I ran into Karen, the curve cram kid.
Hi, handsome.
Hi, yourself.
You know, I dreamed about you last night.
You do wonders for my ego.
You do wonders for my dreams. Care if I walk along with you?
Not at all. Karen, do you know a guy named Leonardi?
Oh, sure. Used to work here. Why do you ask?
Well, I've heard he might be interested in Tony. That's risky business, you know.
Tony and Leonardi? Oh, no. Now, somebody's pulling your leg.
Oh, Rick, I've been looking... Oh, I didn't know you had company. Hello, Karen.
Hi.
I just thought I'd see if you were getting along all right, Rick.
He's in good hands.
That's all a matter of opinion, dear.
Look, why don't you girls amuse yourselves while I make a phone call? Karen, you do the shimmy while Tony tells your fortune. I'll be right back. Both girls were exchanging icy stares as I pulled up my coat collar and walked away. So far, I'd accomplished nothing, and the case was still as mixed up as a chef's salad. I called Max to see if he'd uncovered anything on the latest murder.
Homicide, Lieutenant Talbot speaking.
Max, this is Rick. How you coming on that circus murder?
Oh, Rick, what a headache. Gets screwier every minute.
Yeah, I know. The fortune teller hired me.
Oh, then you know almost as much as I do. There's one new development, no?
Well, don't be greedy, Grandpa. Shoot.
That's what someone else did last night. And a guy by the name of Leonardi.
Leonardi. The guy Chuckles told me about. The one who liked Tony. Max filled in with the details. The killer had written a letter to Leonardi and told him to come to a hotel room in the city because Tony was sick and had been asking for him. Then the killer rigged up a gun trap so that when Leonardi opened the door, the gun would go off and kill him. Only Leonardi was still alive. The killer had made one mistake. I thanked Max and went back to Tony's tent, certain I could use that mistake to my advantage.
Hello, Rick.
Hey, where did little Miss Wigglehips go?
I don't think she liked your leaving her. She went back to her trailer.
Good. Now, Tony, you told me that only 3 people were present at the party when Bruce asked you for the date. Are you certain of that?
Why, yes. Just Sampson, Chuckles, and Karen. They dropped in after the show, and we had coffee.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want you to invite our 3 friends over again after the show tonight. Will you do that?
Well, yes, but I don't understand.
I went back to the girls' show and began my afternoon pitch. That evening, I went through it again, and then around midnight, I went to the party in Tony's tent. They were all 3 there when I entered.
Sit over here, honey.
Thanks, Karen.
Hi, weakling.
Oh, please, Sampson, I'm sensitive.
Say, you should have seen the matinee today. We did a bang-up routine, and the crowd ate it up. We did the old one where we all pile into a car. You know...
They were all relaxed, and I decided it was time to try my long shot. Chuckles was just finishing his story as I took a deep breath and crossed my fingers.
Back, and then we all pile out of this little car. Oldest trick in the book, but they loved it.
Chuckles, remember that guy you told me about the other day? I think his name was Leonardi.
Sure, what about him?
Oh, nothing. I was just curious. Did you know him, Sampson?
Know him? Why, Leo and I used to room together where he worked here. Him and me is the best of buddies.
And you, Karen, you said earlier that you knew him, right?
Yeah, but I didn't think he was so great. He was nothing but a pest.
Hey, you can't talk that way about my buddy.
Oh, Sampson, please. This is a party.
Yeah, take it easy, Muscles. Now, let's see. You both knew Leonardi. That lets you out and leaves only Chuckles. You said earlier that you joined the show after Leonardi left, didn't you, Chuckles?
Yeah. Say, why all these questions about Leonardi?
Because you tried to kill him last night. You thought there was something between Tony and him.
What's this?
It's a joke, that's all.
Yes, clown, but the joke's on you. You're the only one who didn't know Leonardi. The only one who would rig up a gun trap the way you did.
What are you getting at?
When Leonardi opened the door, the bullet went over his head.
Oh, well, over his head?
That's right. You rigged the trap to shoot a normal-sized man. You're the only one here who didn't know Leonardi, didn't know he was a midget.
Well, you're kidding. He's a midget.
That's right. Still feel like laughing?
It's on me. The joke's on me.
You tried to kill my little pal?
And there wasn't anything between Tony and him, huh? Just friends, like she said. Oh, what a laugh, a midget.
Why, you dirty...
Take it easy, Sampson.
Little Leo's my pal. I'll kill this bum when he wakes up.
Never mind, friend. That's the job for the state. And so, dear Helen, my life at the Carnival ended, and I have come back to you. Beaten, perhaps, but ready to continue my valiant fight against the forces of evil. Justice must prevail. Truth must march ahead to...
Oh, Rick.
Quiet, I'm auditioning for Portia Face's life.
Rick, was that Karen person pretty?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a dance did she do?
Well, she started by, and then she... Well...
Oh. One of those.
Mm-hmm. Only more so.
Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Helen, you're so thoughtful.
Rick,
Yes, baby?
I wonder how I'd be doing that.
Doing what? Helen, please. This is more your type. Sweet and lovely, sweeter than the roses in May. Sweet and lovely, heaven must have sent her my way.
skies above me never were as blue as her eyes. And she loves me, who would want a sweeter surprise? When she nestles in my arms so tenderly, there's a thrill that words cannot express. In my heart a song of love is taunting me, melody haunting me, sweet and lovely, sweeter than the roses in May. And she loves me, there is nothing more I can say.
So that's my type, is it? Come here.
Wow.
Well,
Oh, I guess a man's entitled to change his tune.
Again, here's your Rexall family druggist.
Tonight, I'd like to say a special word to users of mineral oil. I know that what you search for is one with an extra heavy body. Well, Rexall mineral oil is refined by a special process to obtain just that. And because it's so exceptionally pure and bland, Rexall mineral oil is non-irritating and non-habit-forming. What's more, it's tasteless, odorless, colorless. Next time, try Rexall mineral oil. And remember, you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall. Richard Diamond, Private Detective, stars Dick Powell in the title role and is written by Richard Carr, with music composed and conducted by Frank Worth. Featured in tonight's cast were Virginia Gregg, Bill Johnstone, Wilms Herbert, Lucille Meredith, Parley Bayer, Joe Duval, and Joe Gilbert. Richard Diamond, Private Detective, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. This is Bill Foreman, inviting you to be with us next Wednesday at this time, when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective.
Hiya, beautiful.
Get lost, Bristlepuss. You need a shave.
But I have shaved. What else do you want me to do?
Silly boy, she wants you to go Stag.
Go Stag? But why?
Because Stag is Rexall's exclusive line of men's good grooming aids, like Stag Brushless Shave Cream. No fuss, no massage, just smooth it on, and presto, you get a clean, close shave. Your face stays smooth and whiskerless all day long.
I'll do it. I'll go Stag.
That's it. Join the Stag line now at Rexall drugstores everywhere.
Yes, to make girls care. Go Stag.
Wednesdays this fall, hear Groucho, Gildy, and the Halls of Ivy on NBC.
Here's Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective.
Hello there. My name's Diamond, and I'm known along the big street as a guy who manages to keep his nose pretty clean and still make a few bucks while I'm doing it. Oh, sure, it gets a little grimy, but you gotta expect that. I'm a shamus, private eye, gumshoe. To the guy who hasn't ever been worried because he tripped over a corpse in his breakfast nook, I'm known as a private detective. And to some guys, I'm known by a lot of other names. Not the kind you would find in a book on manners and social usages. But there are times when you might turn up on your desk calendar under the heading of what I must do today. Who hires me? How do I make a living? Well, maybe this will give you an idea.
Fred, why don't you eat your toast? It's getting cold.
Why don't you stop worrying about the temperature of my breakfast? I'm trying to read the paper.
Did anyone ever tell you how charming it is to have breakfast with you every morning?
Yeah. My ulcers.
I'd like to go shopping today. Will you leave me some money? Fred, did you hear me?
Mary, I'm reading.
Well, stop reading and listen to me for a minute. I need some new summer clothes, and I want to go shopping today.
Here. Here's $10. Buy yourself a bathing suit.
Oh, that's very funny.
Hmm?
I need more than $10. I want $500.
What kind of a bathing suit are you going to buy, Mink?
I'm not going to buy a bathing suit. I need some new clothes. Will you put down that paper and listen to me?
Well, I see you made Jimmy Cello's column again, my darling.
What?
What prominent socialite is fighting with her wealthy husband and crying on the shoulder of a big-time playboy after the arguments?
Is that's supposed to be me?
Can you remember 5 minutes in the past 5 years when we haven't been fighting?
Are you accusing me of running around with some playboy?
Running around is right. I expect one of you to be the first to do a 4-minute mile.
How dare you?
How dare me? Why, you lushed-up little tramp.
Tramp?
Yeah, tramp. Everybody in town knows you're seeing Lorne Oliver.
All right, so I've been seeing him. We're just friends.
Well, that kind of friendship is grounds for divorce in this state.
Why, you dirty...
I'm sick of this whole rotten mess, and I'm going to do something about it.
You're going to do something about it? Why, you conceited, pompous... You're going to do something, are you? Well, you better hurry up, because I've got some ideas of my own.
Yeah?
Lorne.
Yeah, you married?
I got to talk to you.
What time is
10
it?
o'clock.
Well, it's still the middle of the night. Call me back
This
later.
can't wait. Fred found an item about us in Jimmy Cello's column this morning. He stormed out of here like he was going to kill somebody.
Well, you're just the gal who can recognize the symptoms.
Well, that's a nasty line.
What do you want at 10 in the morning, Longfellow? Look, honey, I'll take care of Cello, and if that husband of yours gets out of line, I'll take care of him, too.
You see what I mean? If things like that didn't happen, I'd be out of business. I'll lay you 8 to 5 that before 3 o'clock this afternoon, one of those charming people will be walking into my office begging for help. Yeah?
Rick?
Oh, hello, Helen, baby.
Hi. You gonna take me out tonight?
Sure. I'll be over later. We'll have a quiet evening.
No, I want to go dancing tonight. If you don't take me, I'll throw a tantrum.
But, baby, I don't have the cash. I'm tapped this week.
Well, if you won't let me take you, borrow it from Francis. You told me yourself he was good in a pinch.
Yeah, but he's already black and blue from those 3 lunches at Lindy's. Besides, he's not only your butler, but he's a darn good businessman. He wants security.
Well, give it to him.
He's already got my badge, my book on the 10 best ways to sneak through transoms, complete with illustrations, and my gun.
Haven't you got something else?
Yeah, but I'm saving the right eye in case of an emergency. Keyholes, you know. Look, honey, let's go take in a quiet movie and...
I want to get dressed up and go to a nightclub. It's summer. The flowers are blooming, and the fox has left his lair.
Is what?
I've been hibernating all winter, and I want to get out into some nice, smoke-filled dance floor.
Why, Helen.
Why, Helen, nothing. Please, Rick.
Hold it. Someone's knocking at my chamber door. Come in.
Mr. Diamond?
Yeah, pull up a chair. I'll be right with you.
Who is it?
I'm afraid to look. I haven't paid the light bill.
This is a detective agency, isn't it?
You, sir, have just won yourself a new economy home-size murder sampler, complete with a matching set of bodies.
Me?
No.
I haven't got time to listen to your bright remarks, Diamond. I want to hire you.
What did he say?
He doesn't like my bright remarks. You won't even admit they're bright.
What else?
No, something about wanting to,
Something about what?
What was that last statement, sir? It sounded rather cozy.
I said I wanted to hire you.
What?
I'll call you later, baby. Bye.
Rick, wait a minute.
Now, Mr.
Sears.
Mr. Sears, what can I do for you?
I want you to follow my wife.
Will I like the view?
She's running around with another man.
Well, if they're just running around, don't worry about it. It's when they get tired and slow down that things start to pop.
There was a veiled article in Jimmy Cello's column this morning about my wife and this man.
Yeah, I know Cello.
So do I, but I'm not interested in Cello at the moment.
What do you want? Enough on your wife so you can get a divorce?
Yes.
Oh, well, that comes kind of high. I don't like cases like this, and I usually turn them down. If you want me to swallow my pride, it'll take a $200 retainer and $100 a day in expenses.
I'll write you a check.
Oh, just like that, huh?
I am quite wealthy. That's why I want the divorce, Mr. Diamond. There you are.
Yes, sir. There I am. Now, what's the man's name that your wife is seeing?
His name is Lorne Oliver.
Well, this is turning into a family gathering.
You know him?
Sure, runs the Monarch Club.
That's right.
What's your wife's name, and we're going to get a look at her?
Mary Sears. You can see her tonight at the Stork. We'll be there for dinner, 9 o'clock.
I'll be there. Oh, incidentally, that comes under the heading of expenses, in case you have a short memory.
I have a good memory, Mr. Diamond. You can send me the bill.
Oh, address and phone number?
45 East 65th Street.
45 East 65.
Evergreen 41793.
41793.
Now I've got to be going. Goodbye, Mr. Diamond.
Goodbye, Mr. Sears. Yeah?
What'd you hang up on me for?
Honey, this is because you always give me an argument. You never want to go anywhere. I'm getting tired of shows and hot dogs. I want to go dancing.
What?
And I don't mean Roseland. I want to go to the Stork. I'm a growing boy, and I like to see the bright lights and throw my money around.
But, Rick, you
I'll pick you up at 8:30, and this time, don't wear slacks.
You're an idiot.
Bye, idiot. Yes, that's the way it goes, just as I told you. The word private in front of detective means you're married to all the troubles in the world, and that includes everything. So if a guy turns up who's unhappy with his wife, you listen to him howl, and if he's got enough money, you take the job. It's for better or for worse. And until Mr. Sears came in, it was decidedly one-sided. I'd teach cooking to a bunch of headhunters for a fee like the one he'd given me. When I looked at his $200 check, I started getting that big man complex again. So I closed the office and went back to my flat. We'd probably be up late, and Helen always had some extracurricular activities after we'd get back to her place. You know, roasting marshmallows, fast game of canasta, or an exciting round of Emmys on the living room rug. Anyway, I always got home pretty late in the a.m., so I spent the rest of the afternoon taking a nap. At 6 o'clock, I got up and dressed, and at 8:30, I picked up Helen. Wow. And at 9 o'clock, we were sitting at the Stork Club bar, right on schedule.
Rick, when are you going to ask for a table?
Well, honey, the drinks come faster here.
But I want to dance.
Oh, no. I mustn't overdo it, lover. How do you know? Maybe some mountain climber will ask you on a 20-mile hike tomorrow. Think of your feet.
I am. And I want to move them around that dance floor. Oh, Rick, I know you. If you do something, you do it all the way.
Yeah, let's Nick.
Oh, now you stop that. You're on a job, and you don't want to go in there because you've got to watch somebody.
Well, Helen Asher, how are you, darling?
Well, hello, Lauren. How have you been?
Oh, couldn't be better. Why don't you ever stop over to my club? I'd like to show you around.
She just brought a seeing eye dog.
Oh, hello, Diamond.
You two know each other, don't you?
Yes. How did we make such a grisly mistake, Oliver?
I don't know. I tried taking penicillin for it, but it didn't do much good.
Well, it probably helped out in the other things. Why don't you try hanging yourself?
Rick.
You always did think you were a pretty funny man, didn't you, Diamond?
It's easy being a comic. You just find an idiot for an audience. How do you like the performance?
Stinks. Pardon me, Helen, but I see some people I know. You'll excuse me, won't you, Diamond?
Oh, sure, yes. But the next time you drop around, bring some airwick, huh?
Rick, even if you don't like him, you shouldn't say those things. It's liable to start a fight.
Oh, he wouldn't take a swing at a midget if he was riding an elephant.
I wonder who his friends are. They don't seem to be too glad to see him.
The name's Sears.
Is that who you're watching?
Yeah, the wife.
I don't know whether I approve or not. She's very attractive.
Isn't she, though?
Rick.
This is business, baby. Business. I'm only drooling because I haven't had anything to eat since this morning.
Well, then let's get a table. You've seen her. You've observed what she's doing. Now let's get something to eat.
Wait a minute. Here comes somebody else I know.
Where?
Standing at the check room.
The little man?
Yeah, here he comes.
Who is he?
Name's Cello, Jimmy Cello. Writes a gossip column.
I read it all the time.
Yeah? Hello, Jimmy.
Well, a Broadway shamus. Who's the lovely redhead, Diamond?
Helen, meet James Cello, but be careful what you say. Jimmy, Helen Asher.
Hello, Mr. Cello.
How do you do? Is this an item, Rick?
If I don't get us a table soon, she's going to make me give back her sorority pin.
Oh, speaking of tables, I see some people I know. Nice meeting you, Miss Asher.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Diamond.
Bye, Jimmy.
Rick, he's going over to Sears' table.
Hello, Walter. Hi, Doll. Hi. Well, good evening.
What do you want, Cello?
Oh, just drop by to see how the happy little family was getting along.
Well, just drop away. Nobody asked you to stop by.
Yeah, why don't you do that? And take Oliver here with you. Nobody asked him to stop by either.
Fred, keep your voice down.
This is my table, and I don't like a lot of crumbs lying all over it.
Who's a crumb?
Come on, Lorne. I guess Mr. Sears has forgotten a few things.
I haven't forgotten a thing, Cello. When you print one thing in that lying sheet of yours, and I'll have you sued for libel.
Listen, Sears, if I did print anything, they'd put you away so far they'd have to pipe air into you.
Oh, do go on, Mr. Cello. This is getting interesting.
You'd better get out of here, Cello.
No. Go on, Cello. What have you got on old Moneybag?
He's a lying, dirty gossip monger. He doesn't have a thing.
Wait a minute. I don't like that. Why don't you ask your husband about North Africa sometime, Mrs. Sears?
Just a minute.
Fred, stop it! Fred!
All right, now pick yourself up and get out of here, Cello.
Maybe you're right. I've got a column to get out. It'll be all about you, Sears, in big type.
Go on, get out.
How about me? You gonna throw me out, too?
You can bet your life I am.
I'm getting out of here.
You stay right where you are.
Don't talk that way to Mary.
I'll talk any way I like to my wife.
Lorne, maybe you'd better leave. Here come the waiters.
And now it's I'm gonna push his fat slob's face in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Lorne, don't.
All right. Come on, break it up. Come on. Hey, waiter, give me a hand. Take your hands off me, Diamond.
Now, calm down, Mr. Sears.
I'll kill that slob.
Oliver, you shut up or I'll pull your pants up over your head and shove you in a glass like a breadstick.
I don't like people meddling in my affairs, Diamond. You're fired.
I'm what?
You heard me. Now take your filthy hands off me.
Well, they were lily white before I palmed that check of yours this morning. You can have it back. Here, eat it.
What? I'll have you in jail for this, Diamond.
Why? It isn't every day you get to eat a $200 check.
Oh, Rick, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, baby, but that's what happens when you go to work for a hyena like Sears. You think he's a nice guy because he laughs so much. But you find out later it's only because he chewed your leg off. We left Sears still spitting out pieces of the check I'd shoved down his throat and headed for Helen's apartment. I was sore. When I get hot under the collar, I don't make for good company. So I dropped her off with a kiss and went back to my flat and climbed in the sack. I smoked a dozen cigarettes before I got to sleep. And when I finally did, it must have been with a big smile on my face. All night I kept dreaming that Lorne Oliver and Fred Sears were beating themselves to death with hot paper sacks. Yeah.
Diamond?
No, this is Sunshine Market. Locks Popover is our specialty.
Now you stop clowning and get over here right away.
Walt?
Lieutenant Levinson.
Oh. Where are you?
I'm in your office.
Yeah? What if any clients come in, give them a good sales talk. Tell them how many people you've killed or something.
There's a guy in your office now.
Prospect?
Depends on what you're talking about. I think his name is Fred Sears.
Tell him to go home. He canned me last night.
I don't think he'll listen.
All right. So he's sore.
He's got a right to be. He's dead.
Stop acting like an idiot, Walt. You know I didn't have anything to do with it.
I know you didn't, but we find the stiff in your office, and we get a report that he fired you last night, that you had a fight with him. I gotta tell the commissioner something, Rick.
Tell him Sergeant Otis is teething.
Now, you stop that.
No, what do you know about the killing?
The coroner just left. He said that Sears had been dead about 8 hours. The cleaning woman found him at 9 this morning and called us.
That puts the time of the murder around 1 a.m.
We found this clenched in the dead man's hand.
What is it?
An article torn out of the morning papers. Here, read it.
Jimmy Cello's column.
Read it.
All right, I will. Don't yell at me. Fred Sears, wealthy import-export man, is having troubles. He's finding it hard to explain about his past doings in North Africa, and at the same time, he's finding it just as hard to explain his wife's interest in the local playboy, nightclub owner Lorne Oliver. He got so mad at the Stork Club... Oh, I was there. He got so mad at the Stork Club last night that he took a poke at your columnist and then tried to beat up Lorne Oliver. Will this lead to a rematch between Oliver and Sears?
We're having the whole bunch of them picked up.
Walt, before you do that, give me a couple of hours, will you? Try to dig up your killer.
I can't. You know what we've got to do. It's routine.
Well, the commissioner's already having fits every time he hears my name.
Now, look, Rick.
Walt, I got a business to protect. And if he finds out the stiff was killed in my office, he'll probably haul in my license.
Yeah. 1 hour, Rick. That's all I can give you. I got a job, too.
Thanks, Walt.
I suppose you've got an alibi for 1 o'clock?
Call Helen. We were toasting marshmallows. Well, three good suspects, Lorne Oliver, Cello, the columnist, and Mrs. Sears. One of the three was built just right for the electric chair. An hour isn't much time to dig up a killer, so I grabbed a cab and headed for Lorne Oliver's office in the back of his club.
Yeah, come in.
How are you, Oliver?
Oh, what do you want, Diamond? Not particular about who comes into my club.
Oh, I'm surprised you can operate with that kind of policy. People probably see you in here every night.
I think I'll have you thrown out.
Where were you at 1 o'clock this morning?
None of your business. Herman.
Yeah, boss.
Come in here and show a guy out of my office.
Oh, we get rough, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you tell the cops who knocked off Fred Sears.
Hey, this the guy, boss?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Did you say someone knocked off Fred Sears?
That's right, but don't start crying about it. It makes me feel so helpless.
I'll tell my story to the cops.
They'll get a lot tougher than I will.
You won't get tough at all, Mac.
Oh, stop flexing, Herman. You'll snap your girdle.
Well, I guess it doesn't make much difference as long as Sears is dead. I was with his wife from about 12 o'clock to well, it was a long time after 1.
Well, where were you all that time?
At my place. And I'll take a walk, Shamus. You got my alibi.
One more question. Did you go out at all?
Yeah, I went out and got the late papers. So what? I like to read.
Okay. You don't mind if I stop by and see Mrs. Sears, do you?
No, go ahead.
I'll see you later. Oh, Herman.
Yeah?
You can let the air out now. Your muscles are lovely. Well, Oliver had a good story if it checked, so that left me with 2 more stops. Cello's newspaper office was the closest, so I grabbed another cab, and 10 minutes later, I was sitting at his desk.
Oh, you don't think I had anything to do with it, do you, Diamond?
Where were you at 1 this morning?
I was covering a party at Richard Gray's. I was with friends from about 11 o'clock till after 3. You can check. Go on, check.
Look, Poison Pin. Sears had your column from the late edition clenched in his hand.
He did, huh? Well, you don't think if I was going to kill a man, I'd leave anything like that around?
I don't know.
Well, obviously, someone is trying to make it look like I did it. Have you talked with Oliver and Sears' wife?
Oliver's got an alibi, and I'm headed for Mrs. Sears' place right now. You know the address?
Yes. 45 East 65th. But Mrs. Sears couldn't kill her husband. I know her too well.
No? Well, thanks, Cello. I'll check your alibi. If it stands up, then I'll have to really go to work on Mrs. Sears.
Yes?
Mrs. Sears?
Yes.
Oh, you look even better up close.
What's on your mind?
You mean right this minute?
Well, aren't you nice? Don't crowd me, though. I can keep up a pretty good average in this league.
I'd say about 1,000. May I come in?
I think so. If you keep talking. I like to hear nice things.
Well, you deserve them. But I can think of some nice things to say about a panther.
We'll talk about my family some other time. Can I buy you a drink?
It's a little early, unless you got some milk.
Milk?
Where's your husband?
Oh, you know about him, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. This looked as though it might work into quite a friendship.
Where is he?
I haven't seen him since last night. Why? Is he a friend of yours?
He's been using my office.
Oh?
Yeah, he died there last night.
What?
Everybody is so surprised.
But, how? Who did it?
That's what I'm trying to find out, lover. Where were you at 1 a.m.?
That's none of your business.
Okay, let the law drag it out of you. Goodbye, dear.
Wait a minute. All right, I'll tell you. I was with a man named Oliver, Lorne Oliver.
Oh, for how long?
From about 12 o'clock to, well, much later.
That's what Oliver says. Did you go out at all?
Just to get the papers.
That checks with Oliver's story, too. Did you go out alone?
Why, no, I went with Lorne.
He says he went out alone.
Oh, well, yes, he did.
I thought you said you went out with him.
Well, that was later. Lorne was the one that went out to get the papers.
Okay, what time is it?
About 2.
When you both went out or when Lorne went out to get the papers by himself?
When Lorne went out.
Oh, yes, now I see. Well, I'll see you later.
Come back again.
Oh, I'll do that after you get over crying for your late husband.
I'll keep my emotions down to a minimum.
I'll bet you will. I left her standing in the middle of the room, looking after me like a vegetarian with an eye on a green salad. I closed the door and started down the hall for the elevators. For some reason, I never seem to get where I'm going.
Hello. While you're still tuned in, Diamond, I'll give us some advice. Stay away from Mrs. Sears. Now I want you to be sure and get the point.
Rick, come
on, snap out of it.
I'll go away.
Come on, you don't look so good.
It matches the way I feel. Oh, here's a new line. Where am I, Walt?
In Mrs. Sears' apartment.
Hello, handsome.
She heard the scuffle in the hall, came out, found you, and called me.
Swell.
Who did it?
I didn't see him, but his voice sounded like a thug that Lauren Oliver keeps around to patty cake with.
Oh, that was probably Herman. Lauren is so jealous.
Well, your hour is up, and now I'm going to haul them all in, including this Herman.
Oh, do you know Herman, Walt?
Sure, Herman Sharp. Got a record a mile long.
Walt, if a guy wanted to hire a killer, where would he go?
You know all the stoolies as well as I do.
Yeah. Mrs. Sears, what was the fight about last night at the Stork?
Oh, a columnist named Cello threatened my husband that he was going to print something in his paper. He said something about North Africa, and Fred hit him.
North Africa? This is really getting mixed up. Was your husband ever in North Africa?
Yes, during the war. He was a captain in the Army.
Walt, can you get me this Herman Sharp's address? He's the boy I want.
Sure, but I'm coming along.
Have your boys pick up Cello, Oliver, and take them both down to the station along with Mrs. Sears here.
Well, you don't think I had anything to do with it, do you?
I've known Jimmy Cello a long time. About 5 years ago, he used to run around with a little dancer named Mary Carroll.
Sure he did. I married Carol, but I broke up with him when I met Fred.
Yeah. Well, you'll see him at the station. You can pick up where you left off. Come on, Walt. We went down fast and climbed into the prowl car. Walt put in the call and got Herman's address over the two-way radio. 20 minutes later, we were standing in front of Herman's door. It was an old apartment house on the Lower East Side. I started for the door, but Walt had other ideas.
Rick, we can't go in there.
Why not?
Because I haven't got a search warrant.
Well, you got to go in if you want to crack this case.
Not without a search warrant.
Search warrant for what?
To go in.
Well, what do you want to go in for?
I don't want to go in. You do.
Do what?
Go in.
Well, go ahead.
I haven't got a warrant.
Well, what are you looking for?
Herman Sharp.
He's probably in there.
He is?
Sure.
Well, what are we waiting for? Oh, what did I do that for?
For that.
What?
Herman Sharp.
Oh.
Is he dead?
Yeah, been shot. What are you looking at?
Newspaper on the floor. This morning's. Oh. Cello's column's missing. Been torn out.
Then Herman's your killer.
Swell. Who killed Herman?
Don't you know?
I'm not going to start that again. Walt, go on back to the station. I'm going to check something and make a phone call. I'll be down in half an hour and point out your killer.
Now, calm down, everybody.
This is ridiculous. I want my lawyer.
You'll get one later.
Relax, Oliver. They can't hold us much longer. How do you feel, Mary?
I don't like this any more than you do.
Well, good afternoon, and happy Father's Day.
Rick, where the devil have you been?
Made a phone call to Washington, Walt. Mrs. Sears, did you know that your husband had a dishonorable discharge from the Army?
Why, no.
You knew it, didn't you, Cello?
That's right, but I kept it quiet. He got it for running a black market.
What's this got to do with the death of Sears?
Oliver, you told me you went out to get the papers last night.
That's right.
What time was it?
A little after 2. You know what time the late edition comes
How
out.
about you, Mrs. Sears?
What Lorne says is correct.
How about it, Lorne? Were you the one to go out and get the papers?
Yes.
Then, Mrs. Sears, why did you tell me this afternoon that you also went out to get the papers?
Well,
Mary, don't say any more.
You don't have to. The stories don't check, so you couldn't have been together last night.
Look, Diamond, what is this
Oh, now you look, Oliver. You're both liars. But that doesn't make either one of you the killer.
Oh, but Rick, Cello's alibi checks right down the line.
Sure it does, because he was at that party. But the killer wasn't.
Oh, we know that. He couldn't have been.
Yeah, but the man who hired the killer to knock off Sears was.
What are you talking about, Diamond?
Oliver, where was your hired gun if last night?
You mean Herman?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He was with me until 6 o'clock, then he left.
Walt, when you find Herman's gun, ballistics will probably say that it was the one that did the job on Sears.
Herman?
Yeah. Cello, you hired Herman to kill Sears, and then you killed Herman.
You're out of your mind. I didn't even know this Herman.
We found the newspaper next to Herman's body. It had your column torn out of it.
That doesn't pin anything on me. It just shows you that Herman probably stuck that article in Sears' hand after tearing it out of a newspaper.
That's what you wanted to make it look like. You knew Herman. You knew about the clipping, so you killed him and tore the column out of this morning's newspaper.
Of course I knew about the clipping. You told me about it this morning in my office.
That's right. But you were the only one I told about it.
You couldn't convict Jack the Ripper on that kind of evidence.
I'm afraid he's right, Rick.
Cello, what time does the late edition come out?
About 2 o'clock.
Walt, what time was Sears killed?
Around 1.
Say.
Yeah. The killer couldn't have gotten hold of that column at 1 o'clock. The papers weren't even out on the street.
Well, then how did he do it?
Only one man could have gotten that column before 1 a.m., the man who wrote it.
Jimmy.
He tore it out of the galley sheets. The proofs that are made up before the paper goes to press. Cello hired Herman, gave him the clippings, and then went to the party.
Oh, you're doing great, Diamond. Keep it up.
You're still in love with Mary Sears. You were jealous of Oliver, so you hired Oliver's boy Herman, figuring the cops would pin Sears' murder on Oliver. How am I doing?
You're a good liar and a rotten detective.
You knew I'd go to see Mary Sears, so you sent Herman to beat me up and make it look like Oliver was behind it.
What?
You tried to frame Oliver all along the line.
Boy, you cheap little scandal snooper. I'll fix it so you don't blame
Wait
anybody.
a minute.
All right, break it up. Come on, break it down. Break it up.
Hey, Walt. What is it, Rick?
Bye.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Diamond.
Evening, Francis. Miss Asherin?
Yes, sir, she's in the library. She's a little tired from last night. I think she's taking a nap.
Well, I'll walk on my tippy toes. How about a glass of warm milk, Francis? I'm a little tired, too.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Well, look at the little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hasn't dreaming. Poor little tired baby. The evening breeze caressed the trees tenderly.
Oh, Rick.
The trembling trees embrace the breeze tenderly. Hello, baby.
Don't stop.
All right. Close your pretty eyes. Then you and I came wandering by.
Oh, wonderful.
And lost in our sight were we.
Ricky.
The shore was kissed by sea and mist tenderly.
Ricky.
I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly.
Ricky, come here.
Your arms opened wide and closed me inside.
Ricky, come here.
What is it, dear?
Just this.
Here's your milk, mister. Oh, my goodness. Now, this time I refuse to blush.
You have just heard Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. Helen was played by Virginia Gregg, Lieutenant Levinson by Ed Begley. Also in our cast were Wilms Herbert, Hy Averback, Joan Banks, Parley Bear, and Sidney Miller. Music was under the direction of David Baskerville. Richard Diamond is written by Blake Edwards and directed by William P. Rousseau. Now, this is Eddie King inviting you to be with us again at the same time next week when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. This program has come to you from Hollywood. This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.